Hey guys, this is the second video in our Golang series. In this video, we are going to discuss how to declare variables and constants in Go programming language. Let's create a new folder. I'll name it as Go variables. Let's open this in VS Code. You can also use different code editors. Here we are inside Go variables. So let's create a source file. I'll name it as main.go. Let's define the package as package main. Import fmt. Fmt stands for format in Golang. Let's define our main function, that is func main. Inside this main function we are going to declare the variables. So initially we'll be only declaring the variables, we'll not be initializing that. So var inum int. So inum is the name, integer is the type, var is the statement. So we can add few more variables. Var fnum. In Golang you can either give floating point number as float 64, otherwise float 32. We can also define a string var str string. Let's define a complex number var cnum complex 128, and also let's add a variable for boolean numbers. So blogic bool. Okay, let's go ahead and print all these variables. So that we can do like this: fmt dot println inum fnum str cnum blogic. So let's maintain the sequence as it is declared and run the code. We can simply type go run main.go. Here is our output. So here you can see for int inum this is 0, for fnum it is 0. For string it is actually printing a blank string, that's why you cannot see this. For cnum it is printing 0 plus 0i. For blogic it is false. So what we can understood here, even if we don't initialize the variable in Golang auto initialize the variable and it gives default values to those variables. So now we can do initialization on our own. Let's comment it out. Let's assign inum to 5, fnum to let's say 6.3, str equal to hello. Cnum is a complex number, so let's give a complex number 4 plus 5i. For this boolean value we can give, here we can write true. Let's run the code. Here we are getting some error, 4 plus 5i type untyped as the complex 128 is as. Oh sorry, this should not be there. Okay, it should not be defined as inside double quote. Okay, let's run the code again. Okay, here we are getting our output 5 6.3 hello 4 plus 5 by true. So here we have declared the variable as well as we have initialized the variable. So when we are initializing the variable, this giving this int float 64 or declaring the type of the variable is optional in Golang, so we can delete that. Rather than deleting here, I will just create another set of okay, we'll do it here. Int, let's delete this, float 64 not required, string not required, complex 128, let's delete this. Let's delete this. Okay, so let's run the code again. So here you can see the same output we are getting. And in case you want to know what are the types of the variable that Golang has detected, we can just print the types. So we can do that in this way, printf. Here we can put percentage caps t. So percentage caps t gives the type of the variable. So let's define this multiple times. We can just simply copy paste. Here let's maintain the same sequence: inum, fnum, str, cnum, and blogic. Let's run the code again. So here you can see that for inum this is integer, for fnum it is float 64, for str it is string, for cnum it is complex 128, for blogic. So here you can see the type. Though we have not defined the type or we have not mentioned the type while declaring the variables, Golang is auto detecting the type based on the initial value what you have given. There is another short way to declare the variables. Let's comment it out and I'll show you how to do that. That is only possible inside the scope of a function. So it is not possible for package variables. So I'll show you how to declare the variable in a shorthand declaration. So here we'll not give var. So we'll remove this. So here there is a colon, here colon, colon equal to, colon equal to, colon equal to. Okay. In case you want to format this code, Go is having one option, Go fmt main.go. So it will auto format the code. So here you can see instead of var inum equal to 5, we are instead of using var, we are using a shorthand declaration colon equal to 5 colon equal to 6.3. So this way you can declare the variables and the type of the variable is auto detected by Golang. So let's go ahead and run this code. Let's see what is the output. It should be absolutely same. Sorry, I have to run it. Okay, here you can see the output is same. Okay, so all these variables that we have defined here or declared here is within this main function. Okay, we can also declare variable outside main function. The variables are known as package variables. Here we cannot use shorthand declaration. So here we have to go in the normal way where, let's say in this case, we can just name it as package pnum equal to, let's say, 45. And we can access this pnum from main function as well as any other function. So this is a package variable. This can be accessed by all the functions inside the same package. So let's try to access this pnum. So we can write fmt dot println pnum. Clear screen, run the code again. Okay, here it is actually printing 45. One thing we have to notice in printf function, the slash n is not included by default. So we have to write slash n so that the other lines can be written after the printf line. So here I have put slash n again and let's run the code. So here you can see the output is 45 and that is corresponding to pnum. Let's define another function here, func. We can name the function as abc and we'll access println package variable pnum here. and let's call the function from the main function. So here we can just give a statement so that it is understood well. So here we can write at ABC. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code. So here it is printing that at ABC45. So this function is accessing the package variable pinum, and this function is also accessed from main.go. So there we are printing this, and it is showing at ABC45. Another thing I also would like to highlight here, that it's not a good practice to do that, but you can give the same name variable as that of package name. For example, we can define a variable here pname inside the scope of main function or scope of any other function. We can give the variable name as so we can assign a value to pnum as 70. So when we'll print this will print 70 and it will not print 45. But this abc function that is accessing the package variable there, so it will print 45. Okay, so here since there is a local variable with the same name, so first it will search in the local scope. If it is not finding, it will be searching at the package level. So as it is finding pnum in local scope, the output here will be corresponding to local variable pnum. So let's run this code and see what is the output. Okay, here you can see this println pnum, this is 70 corresponding to local variable with the same name, and the global variable remains unchanged. Okay, so here it is 45. So in case you want to change the global variable at any function, you can just simply change it like pnum equal to 70. If I change it to 70, then both ABC function also will print 70. Let's see. Okay, here you can see this is 70 and this is also 70. Okay, now let's create another file under the same package, that is package main. I'll name it as check.go, and inside that let's define the package name first, that is package main, and let's define a variable var check num is equal to, let's say, 999. Okay, and let's see whether we can access that from the main function. So this is a package variable that we have created in another file under the same package name main, and we want to access this package variable checknum from main.go. So how to access that? We can just simply write fmt.println checknum.go. Sorry, only checknum. So even though the variable is declared in a different file, however, since it is in same package, this can be accessed by any other file under the same package. For example, in case here it is this main.go file is under main package and check.go file is under main package. So the variables, specifically package variables which are defined, can be accessed through all the files. So here we are accessing that checknum from main.go file and inside main function. Okay, let's print it and see how whether it is working. So here but we are getting one error that it is saying undefined checknum. So while running this code, we have to pass the argument main.go and check.go both. So here we have to change it, main.go and check.go. So here you can see that we are getting the output 999. So this is corresponding to checknum. Okay, so here we understand that under any package, any specific package, if we define package variable, that can be accessed across all the files in the same package. I will create another folder, and here let's say we create a new package, go next, and inside that folder let's create a source file. I'll just name the source file as, let's say it's pck01.go, and here let's define the package name as go next. We are giving the same name as the folder name. Here let's define a variable pck01 num. We can give a value as 07, let's say. If you want to access this package variable from main package, then we have to import that package. So we can import in this way, import and the relative path, that is go next. Let's print that. We can print here fmt.println. We can just write at go next, and this is go next dot pck01 num. Let's run the code again and see the results. Here you can see there is an error, cannot refer to unexported name go next.pck01 num. So what is happening here basically, that if you want to export a function or any variable from one package to another package, the name should start with caps letter. So here we have to change this to capital P, and here also we have to change to capital P. Okay, let's run the code again and that should work. So here you can see at go next 7. So in this way we can access a variable from different packages. Now you can understand how we can define variables and how we can initialize variables, how we can access variables from different files under the same package or from a different package. So let's say we define a constant here, const pi equal to 3.141. okay, so here for constant we have to write explicitly like this. We don't have any shorthand declaration for constant. The shorthand declaration colon equal to is reserved for variables. So we have to define like this: const, the name of the constant and the value of the constant. Okay, let's print the constant and see the result. fmt println our constant name is pi. Just clear the screen and run the code. So here you can see this is our constant 3.141. Another thing I want to show you that you can assign variables with functions. Var print equal to fmt.println. This is for illustration only. We are not going to use this in our course. So here what we have done, not this, parentheses are not required. So fmt.println is assigned to this variable. We can just write print. This is not fmt.println. Let's run the code and see the output. So here you can see this print is working. That's all for this video. If you have any comments, please write down in comment section below. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.